Ladies and gentlemen, Quantron. I just built this guy. Okay, I know people have got their problems with Quantron, and I can sort of understand some of it, but he's lovely. Got this guy yesterday. Well, no, Friday. I, I can't keep track of days, but got him on Friday. Big old box, and I opened him up and started transforming the individual bots into their alt modes, and got to this guy, and by that point I was like, I was done with, oh that's cool, interesting transformation, and I was just in the stage of, oh no, how many more things do I need to do to transform him? He's complicated, definitely. Getting him into this mode, or getting all of them into this mode, again, tricky, but the torso is pretty much the alt mode. You just tweak a few things. The legs are a little bit tricky. Just the first time you do things, you don't know what's going to bend where, and I think that's the main problem. Is that because it's a really complicated transformation, and a lot of the things aren't things that necessarily a normal, like, cheap Hasbro transformer would do. Can you see the light piping? Because of the normal things that, like, a cheap normal Hasbro transformer is going to do, this does a little bit more. It goes really sort of in depth in transformation. It's probably each limb that's a deluxe size probably got as much engineering as a Voyager at least, and that's really cool. I don't know what the problem is with that. Some of it's a little bit fiddly, um, but the main problems are the arms on this guy and the everything on this guy. Um, yes, Sonic Drill is without a doubt the most complicated of the bunch. But he's so nice the way he does everything, and he looks great in all his modes. I'm not in any way disappointed. Once I'd transformed them, I left it. I thought, right, that's me done for the night. This morning, got up and transformed them all back into robot mode, and it was a heck of a lot easier, because I knew what was going where, and how things moved. Because it's not all just twist a bit and pull a bit. Like, there's some bits where it's like, you've got to pull slightly and twist it round just a notch. And yeah, that's things that are maybe not standard for a transformer, I suppose. Um, maybe not to the extent of the subtleties of some of the things on here, as well as some of the bits, like transform this guy, the main torso, scattershot, put him into plane mode, and there was bits that just didn't seem to clip in. Now, I'm almost 100% sure that that's because I had something lined up incorrectly. He still held together in plane mode, but there was a couple of clips that I was like, those definitely are meant to go together, but they weren't. I've had the same problem with Sonic Drill. Sonic Drill has loads of bits that interlock, especially in alt mode. Like, get him into robot mode, most of it's relatively free flowing, and the bits that do clip together, pretty straightforward. But putting him into alt mode, okay, these bits are attached to here and clip round. The forearms clip into the shoulders, and then the bottom of the arms clips down and into the top of the legs. And then all the middle section all lines up after having folded round and flipped from the other side, which it flips through the body. Really cool. Um, yeah, even putting them into leg mode here, there's a bit that wedges in for the foot connection, and the first time I did it, I was like, "Oh, is that all it stays on with?" And it kept falling off, and it wasn't until then I looked and I was like, oh, there's little clips there, but they don't line up with the bit inside, and I just had to finagle it a little bit to get it in. So it's not as simple as straightforward. You're not going to get this guy and transform him in 5 minutes. Um, it's something that does take a bit of time and effort. I just realised that I've got the shoulder done the wrong way round because these screws visible. Oh well. Oh well. Probably can. I don't think you actually could. You probably couldn't swap the legs and arms. Um, you might be able to do the feet at either side because they slide onto the body in the same way, but the hands go on uniquely, I believe. Um, I've only transformed him 5 minutes ago and I can't even remember. But look at the size of him. I don't see how there can be any complaints about the size of him. First I opened the box, I was instantly completely satisfied with the size. Each of them's at least a deluxe. The main torso is a large Voyager, like a Mega, or Ultra, or whatever the next size up from Voyager, but not quite a leader. Well, definitely not a leader. There's not even going to mess around. But in plane mode, Scattershot's as big as Six-Shot, Hexatron, so he's not small. Scattershot's a big bot, and I love all the options you get with these guys. You can have Strafe looking very, very G1, or you can have him with alt mode with the blades as wing, well, not wings, but the front of the plane. Or you can stick all of it together like this, where it's got the wing bits and the guns together. So there's a few different options for that. Afterburner, you've got all this gubbins that becomes missile packs for his shoulders and a gun, or it can be a big ass hammer. And you can put them on the alt mode as well, but you don't have to. These guys have got a little bit less options. Oh well, this guy has less options. Lightspeed is just these two modes. You can stick the little bits of the wheels onto the guns, which, unless I'm transforming him into foot mode, I probably won't bother with again. Scattershot, you can armour him up with the feet and the bits, extra bits. Um, I've not even done the giant bow. Like you need to take this off and combine it into a bow with the guns, I think, or with parts that form the big giant gun. I don't even. I mean, I'm gonna do that at some point, but I don't even need to do that now. He's so cool. This guy does actually have. You can take the nose cone, the drill bit, off, put it on his hand. You also got little arms that come out of the shoulders and flip round, so he's got two little grabby hands, as well as his normal arms. This is what I like. I really grudge paying third-party prices for toys. I'll buy them if it's something that looks really nice, but if I just get something that's changing from one mode to another, and it's just got standard articulation, the transformation's not very complex, and it's like I feel a little bit miffed. I do hold off from buying third-party stuff because I think, well, that's really something that we could get from Hasbro. I was reluctant to get this, sort of. It's a lot of money, but having it in hand now, I really, I have no gripes about it. It's at least, well, this is probably 3 times as much as the Combiner Wars toys that are going to come out next year. It's worth 3 times as much. Like, it's at least 3 times as better. As better? 3 times as good, or 3 times better. And the fact that you do get all the options for the different guys, just how nice they look combined and individually. each one has its own cool little things going on with it. They've got all this nice translucent yellow. The head doesn't actually have any light piping, the big giant robot head, but he does have light piping in his belly. You should be able to see a little bit of that there, just a little bit on his belly there. He has belly piping. Um, and yeah, obviously all the weapons and most of them do have some sort of light piping when they're in bot mode as well as alt mode obviously when they transform. Strafe's probably the nicest because he has the wing bits that have got the translucent parts in them, and so that combined with his guns, I can't even remember if he's got any light piping on his head, um, but they're all nice. Each individual robot is worth the third party prices. So you'd what 30 quid, 40 quid for a deluxe, and then 100 probably ish for the Voyager. That doesn't quite work out to the combined price, but when you factor in the fact that they do combine as well as being cool individual robots, a lot of people I see talking about third party combiners and going, oh well, it doesn't matter what the individual ones are like because I'm just going to combine them and stick them in that. If you're paying that sort of money for something that is a big giant robot and you don't want the extra playability of taking them apart and putting them into their individual robot or alt modes, well, I don't get that. That's part of the fun of Transformers, and one of the things I love about the fact that you do get combiners is that each one has its own individual modes and it can be a big giant thing. Like if you're thinking of getting this guy and only want him for this mode, I wouldn't say he's worth the money because as cool a giant robot as he is, and he's very cool, you can get a masterpiece for the same price that's, well, masterpiece Grimlock's probably around the same height. He's a little bit taller than Six Shot Hexatron, so well, masterpiece Grimlock was about the same height. So okay, you maybe be a few inches short, but you're still going to have a giant robot. If that's all you care about is a giant robot, you can get one that transforms into an alt mode and doesn't have all the fiddly bits and holds together a lot well, although this guy holds together pretty damn good. But you know, there's other options if all you care about is one big giant robot. I'm in this because each individual bot. Now, Lightspeed was my least favourite looking of them. Scattershot really like grew on me. Like when I first seen him, I wasn't sold. And Scattershot's a character, other than jokes about his mistransformation for the G1 toy, I don't really have any feelings towards. I had Strafe, I had Afterburner when I was little, so they had some appeal. Also, new Strafe's amazing. I love the new design. I love the light cycle design. And Nose Cone, Sonic Drill. The drill aspect, G1, didn't love him, didn't like him, didn't want him, didn't need him. That was the one that sold me on this set because I'd seen the other ones and I was like, oh, this is really quite cool. And then I got to the pictures of him and I was like, yes, that is an amazing looking Transformer. And I'm not disappointed at all. I'm very, very happy that I got them. I don't know if I'll be getting any more third-party combiners because it is a lot of money. This guy is tall though. He's taller than the Fans Project Bruticus. And so now I do have two combiners. I'll have to see what Combiner Wars is giving me. Um, those Predaking sets, I do kind of like a Predaking. I'll see. Anyway, I thought I'd better do a little video just to defend Quantron because he is really cool. And I'm balancing him here on two fingers. So yeah, if you like the individual bots, if you have any nostalgia for the uh, Technobots, I would say pick them up if you've got the cash. But definitely, I wouldn't be put off by some bad reviews. I haven't found any QC issues so far, really. Um, no, I think it's great. Okay, arms a little bit wobbly, but that's possibly because I should be using this joint for it. I don't know. He does everything I need him to do, and he does it really well. He has rubber feet, rubbery feet, so he won't slide about. Also, so he can stand in pools of water when there's electricity. I read that from Spider-Man.